The Miami Dolphins are gearing up for a crucial clash against the Buffalo Bills, and, behind the scenes, the team is making some key moves that could shape the game. Late on Saturday, they announced some familiar elevations from their practice squad. Once again, defensive tackle Neil Farrell Jr. and long snapper Matt Overton got the nod. At first glance, it might seem like business as usual. But dig deeper, and it's clear these decisions carry some weight. Let's start with Matt Overton. He's been thrust into the spotlight because of a tough situation with Blake Ferguson, Miami's regular long snapper, who's out due to a non-football illness. Overton came on board in mid-October, and this game will mark his third straight appearance. But here's the kicker: NFL rules only allow a practice squad player to be elevated 3 times before a team has to make a call, either sign him to the active 53-man roster or let him go. And that's where things get a bit tricky for the Dolphins. They can't just keep relying on these temporary elevations. After this game, they'll have to decide if Overton is their guy moving forward. Do they offer him a permanent spot, or start shopping for someone else? Ferguson's still out for at least another week, so there's no quick fix here. And Overton knows this game could be his last shot to make an impression. He's got to bring his best, knowing that any slip-up could make the Dolphins look elsewhere. It's a high-stakes situation, not just for Miami but for Overton personally. Then, there's Neil Farrell Jr., who's getting another shot this week. Farrell's call-up is tied to Zach Sealer, who's out dealing with an eye injury from practice. Last week, Farrell saw some action against the Arizona Cardinals, playing 11 defensive snaps in that brutal 28-27 loss. He didn't register any tackles or big plays, but it's about more than just the stat line. Farrell's got the chance to plug a hole on the defensive line, giving Miami some much-needed rotation depth against a tough Bills offense. The Dolphins need someone who can step in and hold his own while Sealer recovers, and this is Farrell's chance to show he's up for the challenge. But there's another storyline that's had fans buzzing: River Crocraft. After being on the injured reserve with a shoulder injury for the first part of the season, Crocraft finally made it back to practice this week. Many hoped he'd suit up against Buffalo, but the Dolphins officially listed him as out. It's a tough blow, especially for Crocraft, who's been itching to get back into the action. He's been working hard in practice, showing he's close to game ready, but it looks like he'll need at least one more week before he can be activated. The clock is ticking, though. The Dolphins have a 2-week window to decide what to do with Crocraft after he returns to practice. Do they activate him and get him back on the field? Or do they keep him on injured reserve longer, maybe even decide to part ways? It's a tricky decision because of the crowded receiver room in Miami. Right now, they've got Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Odell Beckham Jr., Braxton Berrios, and D. Eskridge all ready to go. That's 5 guys already fighting for snaps. If Crocraft is activated, he's going to have to battle for any time on the field. But he's got a track record of being a reliable target, someone who can make tough catches and contribute on special teams. You can bet he's not ready to fade into the background. And let's not overlook another player who's just been reactivated, cornerback Cam Smith. After spending 3 weeks practicing, he's back on the active roster, which is a significant boost for Miami's secondary. Smith's return comes at a crucial time, with the Dolphins needing all the defensive help they can get against a dangerous Bills offense. Buffalo has weapons, and Miami's going to have to match up well to slow them down. Smith's young, hungry, and looking to make an impact. It's exactly the kind of energy Miami needs heading into this matchup. The Dolphins are heading into this game with a lot of moving parts. These elevations, reactivations, and injury updates aren't just small notes on the roster, they're decisions that could shape how Miami performs on Sunday. Every move is about getting this team ready to fight, to adapt, and to keep their playoff hopes alive. The Bills are coming in hot, looking to keep their position in the division, and Miami knows they can't afford any slip-ups. So, they're making sure every piece is in place, even if it means some tough calls along the way. Elevating Overton might seem minor, but if he struggles with any snaps, it could have a ripple effect on the game. Bringing Farrell up again? It's about trying to keep the defensive front stable without Sealer. Waiting on Crocraft's return? It's about balancing patience with the hope that he could add something special to that crowded receiver room when he's fully healthy. And then there's Smith, ready to jump back in at cornerback, a fresh pair of legs eager to prove he belongs on the field.